Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Algo Solutions. Today's host is Ryan Zoner, and he is their Vice President of Commercial Operations, and he will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box so that Ryan can answer them at the end of today's presentation. Ryan, thank you so much for being with Microcom Technologies today. We greatly appreciate you hosting with us, and I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you very much, Julie. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the time today. So as Julie mentioned, I'm Ryan Zoner from Algo, and today I'm going to go through some of the new releases from Algo, what we've launched in new products, what we've launched in new compatibility, and a little overview of what's been going on here in 2023. So as I mentioned, I'll do a quick introduction of Algo, just to make sure you're familiar with the brand, what we do, where we're positioned. I'll go through some recent releases, and then I'm going to double click a little bit on our device management platform, as I find that's often a valuable feature that some folks are not as aware of. So we'll start with just a quick introduction. If you're not familiar with Algo, we are a leading manufacturer of IP endpoints for IP paging, emergency notification, visual alerting, and secure door entry. We've been at this a long time, been developing telephony hardware since the 60s. All of our products are North American designed, manufactured, based out of our facilities here in North America. And all of our endpoints and everything that I'll go through today are SIP compliant devices, compatible with over 60 VoIP platforms, ranging across most of the leading UC environments, and now they are certified natively with the Microsoft Teams SIP Gateway, which I will be going through a little bit in today. So our products fall into a couple categories: IP speakers, intercoms, paging adapters, visual alerters. Really, these are all smart IP endpoints that you can use to collectively build comprehensive communication systems, whether these systems are for voice paging, alerting, notification, secure door entry. The Algo IP endpoints all work together seamlessly with your UC environment to build comprehensive communication solutions. So I like to just quickly describe how we fit into the market, and I break it down into these three elements. First, there's obviously a critical need, a need for paging, emergency notification, alerting. So there's a need, whether that is operational or that need is going to be for an emergency standpoint. There's a need in that organization, whether it's an education client, manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, government, you name the vertical, there's either an operational need or there's an emergency need. Then for us, we're looking for organizations that are building around their unified communication ecosystem. And that's where Algo really shines, as we have broad compatibility into over 60 platforms. I think 6 of them are listed here, from Teams, RingCentral, 8x8, Zoom, Cisco, GoTo, but there's over 60 platforms that we're certified on, and we SIP register into all of these platforms. So we fit into those organizations that are looking to build around their UC environment. And then ultimately, we also fit in where we have the right mix of technology. Organizations that are moving to an IP environment, they want their endpoints to be PoE powered. They want them to be network configurable. They're worried about data security, and they want to make sure everything is sound, robust, and solid. And that's really where Algo comes in. So we come into those organizations that are looking for robust IP endpoints that work with their UC environment and address their critical needs for their communication solutions. So with that, I want to talk about some of our recent releases. And the first one I want to talk about is regarding Microsoft Teams. I think we are all very familiar with Microsoft Teams, obviously a leading unified communication platform now, and increasingly more and more part of all of our communication ecosystems, whether we're using it just for chat, or we're using it for video conferencing, or increasingly using it as the core unified communication ecosystem. Algo endpoints have been certified for native integration with the Microsoft Teams SIP Gateway. This means that devices can register into Microsoft Teams without the need of a session border controller. It is as simple as ensuring your Algo device is running the latest firmware, activating it into the Microsoft Teams mode, Through the web interface of the Algo device, you can register it to that SIP gateway. A handshake occurs between the Microsoft SIP gateway and the Algo device, and you're able to register that device in. It is seamless, it is simple, and you are building a native connection between Algo and Microsoft Teams. We have over 15 SKUs that are compatible with this. I can go through those SKUs, but the core part of the Algo portfolio is all compatible, from IP speakers, paging adapters, visual alerters, and our audio-based intercoms. We are really seeing a lot of organizations looking to deploy our endpoints in Teams environments. And there's a variety of reasons why, but there are 3 core reasons that we seemingly run across every single day. And I've laid those out here on the slide so I can kind of go through what we see as the most common applications. The first is what I have in item number 1, enabling legacy voice paging systems. The most common question we get by far is organizations saying, I have migrated to a Microsoft Teams environment. My voice paging exists on a legacy PBX or some sort of legacy system. How can I bring my legacy infrastructure into my Teams environment and still communicate it with it from a Teams phone, a Teams client, or anything Teams related? And that's where our IP paging adapters come together. They will SIP register into the Microsoft Teams SIP gateway. They will hardwire to legacy amplifiers on site and form a seamless bridge between Teams and the paging system. You, of course, get a whole host of other features that come in these paging adapters, from calendar functionality, wideband audio, advanced scheduling. There's a lot more that comes into it, but the most important thing is you have formed that bridge between Teams and the legacy amplifier without the need of an SBC or any complicated servers. It's a simple endpoint, you have your bridge. The next most common application we see is organizations that are in a Teams environment and looking to deploy IP endpoints for voice paging or loud ringing or alerting, which are items 2 and 3. So for voice paging solutions, this is really a simple, future-proof, scalable solution that we bring. All of Algo's IP speakers can register into the Microsoft Teams SIP gateway, allowing you to register that in the same way that you would register it in a common shared device like a phone. This allows you to have direct connectivity from a Teams client, from a Teams phone, to initiate voice paging across one or thousands of Algo IP speakers. In this example, you see a ceiling speaker, but it could be a horn speaker in a warehouse. It could be a wall speaker in a rugged environment. It could be a classroom speaker in a school. It really can go across all the gambits, but by deploying it directly to Teams, you get the full functionality of the IP speaker. It allows you to unlock some of the strongest features of our IP endpoints, like accessing the embedded microphone for two-way talk or ambient noise detection. There's a lot more that comes when you have a full IP solution. And the third option is looking at loud ringing and emergency alerting in Teams. Very, very common in Teams environments. You might have a Teams phone. An organization can't hear that phone. It's in a loud warehouse, a manufacturing facility. They need to complement that phone with a loud ringer or a visual alerter. That can be seamlessly integrated via the SIP gateway, and it can ensure that messages are delivered, heard, and understood by the intended occupants. List of our products that are certified are here. Some that are there on the screen. I would really just stress that the entire Algo portfolio, excluding video intercoms, are certified for native compatibility with Microsoft Teams. Every Algo IP speaker, every Algo IP paging adapter, every Algo visual alerter, every Algo display, and all of the Algo audio intercoms are certified for native compatibility with Microsoft Teams. The last thing I'll leave on Teams is just resources that are available. This is truly a very simple deployment. It is as simple as registering it in the Algo web interface. It will configure quickly and seamlessly. If you're looking for more details on how to do that, we do have a good amount of resources on the Algo website showing you some of the compatibility elements, some videos, some how-tos, and of course, detailed documentation. You'll find some of this documentation on the Microsoft website as well, but it's all easily housed on the Algo website if you're looking for technical details on how to build this integration. All right, I will now move then across to our IP display speakers. These are new products from Algo, launched in 2023, Some of you may be familiar with these as they have been launched out through the summer and are starting to roll out to multiple organizations, but new for this year, so I wanted to reiterate these products. These Algo IP display speakers are something we are really excited about as they are expanding the communication possibilities of Algo endpoints. They're bringing together 3 core communication modalities, from a large LCD screen for visual to wideband IP speakers for audible, and then LED flashes for attention-getting activity. All 3 things put together in one product. That product is still SIP capable. That product is still PoE++ powered. That product is still acting like all other Algo endpoints act. It just now brings visual communication into that audible environment. We have 2 variants. We have a single-sided and a double-sided. They operate very much in the same way. As you can imagine, on the double-sided, you just have 2 screens, 2 sets of speakers, 2 sets of strobe lights. The intention of this is that the single-sided should be surface mounted, flush mounted onto a wall, maybe in a classroom, maybe in a hospital, maybe in a common area. And then you will have the dual-sided, which is designed for hallways, corridors, large open rooms, where you want to broadcast messaging in multiple directions. This means broadcasting both visual and audible messaging in multiple directions. These products are similar to other Algo products. So if you're familiar with an Algo speaker, you'll be very familiar with how the speaker portion of this product works. If you're familiar with an Algo visual alerter, you'll be very familiar with how the Algo visual alerter part of this product works. And if you are new to Algo, then there's a couple key things I'll mention in this product. First, the speaker is wideband audio. It's going to ensure you're going to have very highly intelligible audio. You'll hear all of your the words being delivered, making sure the messages are understood. It's going to be widely compatible with all of our UC players, including Teams, which I recently mentioned, but also compatible with Zoom, Cisco, GoTo, Ring Central, 60 platforms you can be compatible with. Multicast scalable, entirely network configurable via the web interface. It's of course going to be secure SIP, and these devices are PoE Plus and PoE Plus Plus powered. We do recommend PoE Plus Plus for the dual-sided. That's going to be critical to make sure you get sufficient brightness and volume out of that speaker. If you don't have a PoE Plus Plus switch, an injector is totally suitable. Just breaking down the 3 different portions of this product. As I said, the first portion is the LCD screen. It's a 15.6-inch wide-angle viewing screen. It ensures you're going to have visibility if you're standing below it, off access to the side. It's also entirely customizable. The product's going to come with, I believe, about 20-25 preloaded examples of what you can do on that screen. An example up here, like a class reminder, clocks, other activity, but this can be entirely customized to your desire. You can upload background images, you can put text, you can put information into widgets like dates. So really you can unlock the communication that fits for your application based on really your creativity. But the idea is that this screen will deliver daily messages, but also critically in the moment of an emergency, it could deliver emergency messaging very clear, very direct, very visible. The next part is going to be the IP speaker, and this is also giving an example of emergency messaging showing the power of that screen. But as you have something going on the screen, we are complementing that with the audio. Now, again, this is going to be wideband audio, but this is also very, very loud audio. You're going to get over 100 dB of output from these speakers. It's going to make sure that message is heard and delivered. And we're also going to have that embedded microphone that we have in all Algo IP speakers that's going to allow you to have ambient noise detection and 2-way talk if desired. The final feature is going to be the LED flashers. LED flashers here are for attention getting, complementing the visual screen and the audible message. They can be used just to flash and get people's awareness. They could also signal different activities. Maybe red is lockdown, yellow shelter in place. You get the idea that we can use it for multiple activities. Really, as we say, the screen is probably going to be your best visual communicator, but a flashing LED also does make sure that something is not missed and the attention is captured. So that's it on the Algo IP displays. Lots more that we could go into those, but that's a high-level overview of these new products. Last, I want to talk about what's new from the Algo device management platform. And before I do, I just want to reiterate how Algo devices are managed, supervised, and operated. So Algo devices, all being IP endpoints, can each be managed individually by that device web interface. That image on the left there, you're seeing the web interface. You log in via the IP address of that device. You put in your secure credentials. You can control every feature of that product in that individual web interface. This is excellent if you want to go into one device, make changes. However, once you get into deployments of hundreds, thousands of devices, it is, of course, no longer practical to manage devices one by one by one. We then have two solutions. We have a dedicated device manager, a piece of hardware that sits on a local network, and it allows you to view, manage, supervise all devices, all Algo devices on that local network. That's the middle box, that's the Algo 8300, that blue box. It's a centralized device management solution, really effective for helping deployments. It is limited, however, to the devices on your local area network. The third solution we have is a cloud-based device management solution, the Algo Device Management Platform, the ADMP as we call it for short, a non-creative acronym describing that product. It is a cloud-based tool that allows you to manage, supervise, and monitor Algo devices located across multiple networks. You simply have to connect and register your Algo device to your ADMP account, and you will have the ability to manage, monitor, and supervise the devices there. So from that platform, you have the ability to do simple management, simple activity, simple supervision, but there's more features that we are bringing out. The first one that we've brought out is zero-touch provisioning. A common question from folks is, can we have zero-touch provisioning on Algo devices? The answer is yes, absolutely you can. It's available in the ADMP environment. This is an invite-only activity. If you would like to have zero-touch provisioning, just engage the Algo team. We can turn that on your account. We just like to make sure that everyone who is using it is partnered with Algo so we understand who is using zero touch. This is a free service. It'll help speed up deployments, especially large deployments. And this is designed simply as a redirection tool. So it is designed to point the devices back to a central provisioning server, which will allow the device to fetch its provisioning details. It can also push simple provisioning and configuration directly. We just recommend that it uses a redirect because that way the device, if there's a provisioning change, it's always checking with the provisioning server. So as I said, two common use cases, they're outlined here on the left. The first would be that you would put in simple provisioning, which would have your devices upon wake up. They'll reach out to the Algo ZTP server. From the ZTP server, it will redirect it over to your local provisioning server where the device will fetch its provisioning file. In a different case, you may just not want to use it for putting it on a provisioning server and managing it that way, but maybe you want every device that you have to wake up and auto register into your ADMP. So you could have it just when each device reaches out to the ZTP, it's then provisioned with the ADMP credentials and thus shows up in your ADMP dashboard. So simple deployment can be used in multiple ways there. We have more releases coming out in the ADMP. There's a lot more that's coming out for troubleshooting. I happen to know that's in beta as of today. So there'll be some troubleshooting solutions that are there, some backup elements, and more features coming out within the ADMP as a way to help organizations who are deploying large number of Algo endpoints to do so in a seamless and quick manner. So just to summarize, and then I'll hand it back in case there's any Q&A. Three things I wanted to reiterate today. The first is our native compatibility with Microsoft Teams. Algo endpoints now certified natively compatible with the Microsoft Teams SIP gateway. That is a unique solution within Microsoft Teams for voice paging. Algo is the only provider of that solution. That is live, it is GA, it is functional. The second are the IP displays. These are new products to the Algo suite. We think this builds a great new communication tool within our ecosystem. Those are live, rolling off the production line and starting to be deployed in organizations through 2023. And then finally, zero-touch provisioning now available within the Algo device management platform. There are more features coming with the Algo device management platform. And the last item I would just list is that Algo does have an authorized integrator program. If you or partners of yours are interested in becoming an authorized integrator of Algo, we are happy to work with you. Integrators receive leads directly from Algo. We often have organizations reaching out asking, hey, can you recommend somebody in city X who can deploy Algo products? So having that group of authorized integrators is great. You also receive advanced access to new product releases, free ADMP accounts, and dedicated Algo connections. So if that's something of interest to you, your colleagues, feel free to connect with Algo. You can register for the program directly on our website, or you can reach out to a member of the Algo team. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate the time today. That's it for me. I'm going to hand it back to Julie here at Microcom to open up any next steps or Q&A.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, looks like I've got some questions for you. Let's get started with the first one. Here we go. How does Algo's IP paging system integrate with existing communication systems?
Okay, I might just have a clarification on that. I think if the question is how does the IP paging integrate with legacy paging systems or legacy communication, like collaboration systems. So I'll talk about it two ways. So the first,
Okay.
if the how does Algo paging integrate with legacy paging systems? The answer is simply our paging adapters. So Algo IP paging adapters, and I can go back up here a couple slides. Algo IP paging adapters are going to SIP register into your IP platform, and there's going to be a hardwired connection to legacy amplifiers. That's via the line out activity, which is going to connect in and build that bridge. If the question is about how we connect in our paging systems, connect into communication systems, typically that's going to be via SIP. So any SIP-based communication system, Algo devices are all SIP, third-party compatible SIP endpoints. They can SIP register into your UC platforms.
Ryan, thank you so much for clarifying that both ways. I appreciate that. Next question here. How does your solution enhance communication within Microsoft Teams meetings or channels?
Yeah, good question. So the way I like to position Algo in a Microsoft Teams world, Algo's endpoints are predominantly designed to exist outside of the meeting and the conference room. And I think this is an important distinction. I think we all know in the pandemic, it changed everyone's ways of working. We went from a lot of in-office work to immediately having to have hybrid remote work, and we stood up Teams systems, Zoom systems, whatever systems were needed. So if we're going to talk about Teams meeting, organizations quickly migrated to Teams for Teams meetings, stood up conference room solutions, stood up everything you needed from headsets to soundbars to everything else. That is not where Algo comes to play. There are great vendors that do a great job of building meeting rooms and all of that solution. What Algo takes care of is the rest of your premise. If you are now running on a Microsoft Teams system and you need to communicate with occupants of your building who are not in a Teams meeting, maybe it's a large warehouse and you have 50 warehouse workers on forklifts on the floor and you need the ability to communicate with them, Algo takes your Microsoft Teams communication system and extends it beyond the meeting room and gives you communication to all occupants of your building. If you're looking for solutions directly tied to meeting rooms, to calls, to channels, then that is where you're probably looking at vendors who do Teams rooms. The only thing I will also say is because Algo devices get registered into Teams, you can set up channels that are your different voice paging areas. You could have a channel which is your warehouse, and when you open up a live call to warehouse, it's going to open that call to all the speakers that exist within that space. So it does integrate to the channel in the sense that you can set up zones and speakers, but I really would encourage you to think that Algo's solution set is outside of the conference room, and there are a lot of great vendors that service inside the conference room.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ryan. Next question here for you. Are there any special requirements for setting up Algo's IP paging and intercom devices?
No real special requirements. So Algo devices are all independent devices. There's no software needed, no servers needed. They are independent IP devices. They will SIP register into whatever platform you will have. Some platforms do require licenses for that. In an example, Microsoft Teams, you need a shared device license. Same way you would need a license for a shared phone, a common area phone. But no software, no head end, no details. It is as simple as taking an endpoint, registering on the platform, and away you go. What we like to say is it really should be thought of as a simple piece of infrastructure. It's not something with recurring cost to you or your customer. It's not something that should need a significant amount of ongoing maintenance. This is the kind of device that you deploy in your ecosystem, you register in your platform, and you can trust that it's going to be durable and functional as a core part of your infrastructure.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ryan. Next question here for you. What can you tell us about Algo's roadmap for future IP paging and intercom devices?
Sure. Lots in the Algo roadmap. Really excited about what's coming out both in the back half of 2023 and into 2024. I think you're going to see a variety of new launches from Algo. I can tease a couple of them. You're going to see a couple new IP speakers that are very, very loud, durable, and rugged, designed for difficult outdoor environments. New horn speakers, as well as some large horn array speakers. These are currently in beta tests with a couple airports across the US. Those are exciting launches launching in Q4. We also will have some tactical expansion of the speaker lines, new ways of mounting speakers, and a few new variants. And then we'll be launching an Algo broadcast solution, something that will allow you to initiate voice page, initiate emergency notification. Envision it as a bit of a rugged tablet for initiating IP paging across Algo devices. So lots more to come. You're going to see 4 or 5 launches from Algo in Q4. You're going to see 5 or 6 launches in 2024. So our R&D team is busy working. I think you're going to see a lot of that coming to market in the early November timeline.
Thank you so much for that, Ryan. Couple more questions here for you. Next one is, can you share information about any upcoming partnerships or collaborations that might impact your product offerings?
Upcoming partnerships or collaborations. So I think the Teams one is a big one that we've talked about. Upcoming partnerships or collaborations. So I don't think there is any new major collaboration things that we'll be releasing in the short term. We are always building new partnerships with integrators and building that out. From a technology standpoint, we are always looking at new platforms and releases, but there's nothing imminent on the roadmap for new compatibility solutions in the short term.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Next question here for you. Are the IP paging speakers wireless or hardwired? And the same question for the emergency alert systems.
Yeah, good question. So everything that you are seeing here in the portfolio is PoE powered, meaning it is wired via an Ethernet cable, and that Ethernet cable is providing you both power and internet. We often get the question of, do you have wireless capable speakers that can run off Wi-Fi? We have developed that technology and we have chosen not to bring it out to the market, not because it's not possible, but simply if you're going to be needing to run power to the device anyway, running PoE is going to give you the ability to have a more reliable internet connection as well as give you power. And running that PoE to the device is going to ensure things like critical paging security have reliable internet. So it is all going to be PoE powered, which means it is all wired. There's no additional AC power required and no Wi-Fi connectivity required.
Thank you so much for that, Ryan. 2 more questions I've got here for you. Here we go into the next one. Where can an Algo user find the latest firmware of their device?
Yeah, latest firmware is always available on the Algo website. So if you go to the Algo website, the resources section, all firmware releases are released there. If you'd like advanced notice of firmware releases, you can sign up there for advanced notice. Additionally, in the Algo web interface, you can go to the firmware section. You can check for latest. The device will reach out to the server and see if there's a later firmware release. If so, it can fetch it and upgrade it. Same thing with the Algo device management platform, the ADMP. You can also fetch upgrades there. So you can check for it in your firmware, you can check in the ADMP, or you can check on the Algo website.
Excellent, thank you. Last question here for you. What product warranty is included with Algo products? Can you tell us all about your warranty?
Sure. Standard warranty is 1 year from date of purchase or 18 months from date of manufacture. I will suggest that Algo products, we like to believe that we are quite reliable, durable, and stand behind our products. Should you find that there is ever a product failure within warranty or outside of warranty, please engage with the Algo support team. We will always work with you to make sure you are kept whole, you're getting what you need, and your product is functional. Standard warranty is 1 year, 18 months from date of manufacture, but if there are any concerns, engage our team, and our team will work with you to make sure you are taken care of.
Excellent. Thank you, Ryan. That's a perfect answer. Nice to know that about your products. Ryan, thank you so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And thank you to everyone who joined today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please remember that this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we can all view it again. Ryan, thank you so much for your time and all of your information today regarding Algo products. And we will follow up with you for a future webinar and see what's going on with Algo Solutions, hopefully one more time before the end of 2023. Again, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.